couldn't get out of the house. Never mind. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was one of those questions. Are you sure the only thing that's bothering you tonight is your feet? No, it ain't just my feet. It's Richard. He's a pain somewhere else. Oh, tell surprise. So what happened now? Well, he cornered me. Started talking to me, telling me how to run my life, and shooting off his big mouth. Same old stuff. Oh, and this time it's got to. He's driving me nuts, Miss Hopkins. I ain't kidding. Well, that's really sad, because I know the only thing that Richard really wants is for you to love him enough to be with him. Now listen, baby, if you would just relax... Please, Miss Hopkins, would you just don't go on about it? I've had enough. Okay, I will cease and desist. Does that mean you're going to stop? Yeah. Listen, what were you planning on doing tonight? Well, I was going to go over some new songs with Marco. I ain't in the mood. I don't know what I'm in the mood for. I don't want to just sit around here and think. Well, then why don't you come with me? I'm going to the church and play some bingo. What's bingo? Oh, my dear. You have led a sheltered life, haven't you? Well, bingo is a game. It's lots of fun. It's easy to learn. Yeah? And when you're playing, you're so busy you won't think of anything else. So, come on. Put your shoes on again. Can you put your shoes on? I think I can get into my boots. Good. So I will go and ask Miss Lovelace if she will take care of the house while you get ready, and then we'll go, okay? Okay. Thanks, Miss Hopkins.
I better be getting back to the boarding house.
Keep the key?
Well, not tonight. I told Becky I'd help her out on some country and western songs. You never know what could come out of that, though.
I'll give you your suit.
Is that a pun?
No? Yes.
See, you're not a writer, you know that? There's another one of the people who loves me, Richard. Suppose you're not going to be leaving now.
No, I have an overwhelming urge to stay for a while.
Edwina, take my word for it and start fighting.
Oh, well, in that case.
Good.
What are you writing? An assignment?
No. Is it something else?
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Because in that case, you can stop what you're doing and have dinner with me. Here, or I can cook at home.
No. I'm afraid I can't. This is very important. I have to get it finished now.
I can take it. When you finish it, if you're in the mood, why don't you stop by?
Oh, thank you. Maybe I will. Oh, hi, Miss Lovelace.
Oh,
So nice to see you. Oh, please, call me Marco, won't you?
If you'll call me Alice.
I'd love to call you Alice, Miss Lovelace. How's the sweater coming?
Not very quickly, I'm afraid. I'm not as fast as I used to be before I got this darned arthritis and everything.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I sure hope it fits me once you're through with it.
Somehow I don't see you in a pink cardigan.
You know, you got a point there. Seen Becky around tonight?
Oh, I was supposed to give you a message I almost forgot.
What is it?
She's gone to the church with Ina to play bingo. She said to tell you she was sorry, but she just couldn't get into music tonight.
Oh, it's too bad. Do you know when they'll be back?
Bingo usually lasts until about 11 if they stay that late.
Well, I'm still in the mood for some country western music, so I think I'll just head on over to Blue Ridge Club. Oh, wanna come?
Me? For land's sake, Mark. Oh, you're just saying that to make an old lady feel good. And you know something? It worked.
I'll see you later. Oh, nice to see you again.
Just awful, Peter. I found Melinda. She's in town, but she's still as mad as ever.
Well, that really surprises me, Dorian, because I had quite the opposite impression.
She's working at Tony's place and... What do you mean? How could you have any impression of her at all?
I've had a date with the lady. I had dinner with her. I just didn't know who she was at the time.
This is incredible.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I felt when I found out.
Oh, and, where did you first meet her?
Well, I met her a couple of times. Once she was with Hopkins, so I kind of figured that she was probably staying there. And since I found her attractive and she was kind of mysterious, I decided to pursue the thing. So we had dinner. We even had a good time. As a matter of fact, that's who I was with the night that I ran into you at Tony's place.
And you said that you had such a nice time. Well, how could that be? I mean, since she's so disturbed.
Well, that's the point, Dorian. She's quite sane. She's even a lovely person.
Why, you sound like you might even ask her out again.
Yes.
Well, I think that I had better warn you about Melinda. Peter, to get involved with her right now would be a very big mistake.
Why is that?
Well, because men happen to be one of her problems. And all of her relationships with men have turned out disastrously.
Dorian, are you sure you're not talking about your relationships and not Melinda?
Quite different disasters, I can assure you. Melinda develops a crush on any man who just so much as smiles at her. That's part of her dependency syndrome. I could give you a list of several names, but I think the one that you'll be most familiar with is Larry Wolek.
Larry?
Yes, when Larry was in love with Meredith. And what happened with him is what happened with any man that Melinda became infatuated with. She would insist that that infatuation was love, and then it would become very intense. And then she would twist that into a kind of hatred, because in fact, she could only need. She couldn't love. And that hatred became quite psychotic, and it usually ended in an ugly explosion.
Well, that's fascinating, Dorian. But there's one problem. You see, we're obviously not talking about the same person. trying to live her own life. She's trying very hard to stand up to you.
See that? You see that? She's painting me out to be some kind of enemy. My Lord, I'm just trying to help her.
Dorian, she doesn't want your help. And she's old enough and stable enough to have the right to refuse you. It is her choice.
No, it isn't.
You listen to yourself. I mean, it sounds to me like you just don't want to believe that she might be better.
It's just that I'm not convinced that she is.
Well, then give her a chance to prove it to you.
Well, what if she turns out to be start raving mad again?
I don't think that's going to happen. And besides, Melinda is willing to take the chance. Dorian, you just have to stop pushing your help on her. Don't you understand that the more you do that, the more you're going to just drive her away from you? She has to come to you of her own free will, by her own choice. Otherwise, there's no way that the two of you will have a viable relationship.
All right. You like us, you like.
I'm sure that I am.
Oh, Peter, you always are. I think that's why I respect and admire you so much. You always make me see life from such a different perspective. More so than anyone else that I know.
Dorian, I just want to be a good friend to you. And I want very much for you and your sister to be together again as a family.
Oh, Peter, I'm sure with you on my side, that's exactly what will happen. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Bingo. I didn't know Becky knew anything about bingo.
She doesn't. She will after tonight. That Hopkins is a whiz of bingo. I ought to know. I've lost to her often enough.
Well, I want to give Becky this letter.
Oh? Hope it's a love letter.
Why, Miss Lovelace.
I told you to call me Alice. And just because I'm an old lady doesn't mean that I'm feeble-minded. I know a few things that are going on around here.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't try and fool you. But I wonder if you could give this letter to Becky when she comes back.
Well, if they're late, I'll probably be in bed. Why don't you just slip it under her door?
That's a good idea. I'll do that. Well, take it easy, huh?
If I took it any easier, Richard, I'm afraid I'd be pushing up daisies.
Playing it this year.
They're not playing it the same?
Yeah, they're playing it the same, but it's different.
It doesn't make any sense.
My team is on a losing streak. They can't do anything right. They can't win.
Oh, now I get it. If they were winning, it wouldn't be a dumb game, but because they're losing, it's a dumb game, right?
Why are we talking about hockey? You don't even like hockey.
Well, we've got to talk about something, Vinnie. It's staring at the four walls with a long face, like you've been doing ever since I got home.
I'll have a beer.
Well, just come out and say it.
Say what?
You're still ticked off that I did that commercial. You've been sitting here stewing ever since I went to work.
Well, what's to stew about? You made up your mind that you're going to go in front of millions of people and you're going to model one of them things.
Braziers, Vinnie. They're called braziers.
I know what they're called.
And they're used for support.
I know what they're used for, too.
Give that man a gold star.
Did you see Lieutenant Stevens' face when that commercial came on? He's a secret in his shirt.
A very puritanical fellow. I know. We've been over that, Vinnie. To tell you the truth, that is his problem, not mine.
Now what the hell does that mean?
The phone is ringing.
If I know the phone is ringing, I will answer it. It is probably a phone call.
only one who can help me. Peter, I really feel so much better since we've had our talk.
I guess I did most of the talking, didn't I?
Oh, well, that's as it should have been. I needed to hear the things that you had to say. You see, I can't be very objective when it comes to Melinda.
Well, I don't see why that should be so difficult for you, but I do understand why you felt such a deep responsibility toward her during all the years she was growing up. But she's a mature woman now.
But I think it's more than just feeling responsible for her. I think my need to help her so much stems from the fact that I've really been so lonely. Until now.
door is open, Miss Lovelace.
That's nonsense. Becky always locks her door.
Yeah, well, apparently she forgot to lock it this time.
What on earth are you looking for?
I don't know yet.
Mr. Abbott, this is very improper, and I must ask you to leave this room.
Yeah, in a minute.
Not in a minute, right now. You've no business in here. Becky's going to be very upset when she finds out.
Look, Miss Lovelace, someone was in this room before I even came in this room.
What was that you just said?
When I slipped that letter under the door, I heard something in here drop on the floor. I tried the doorknob, the door was open. And when I came in here, whoever was in here before me escaped through that window.
Are you saying there was a burglar in this room?
I don't know if there was a burglar in here, but I can have a look around.
Where are you going?
Gotta go outside, look under Becky's window in the snow.
Dear God. I've been alone in the house with a burglar. Oh, Mr. Abbott, wait for me! Wait for me!
What time is it?
Oh, it's almost 10 o'clock.
Yeah, Karen should be here any minute.
Vinnie, I don't understand why she didn't tell you on the phone what it was all about.
Well, it probably has to do with Larry. What else could it be about?
How should I know?
Look, Wanda, when she comes here, could you go in the bedroom?
What for?
Well, because maybe Karen will be embarrassed, that's why.
What's she got to be embarrassed about?
She's coming over here to get my advice about her marriage to Larry, and maybe she would feel more comfortable if she could talk to me alone. After all, I am her brother-in-law.
Well, last time I looked, I was a sister-in-law. What am I now, chopped liver?
Well, you come off it.
No, you come off it. You're the one that's always talking about families have to stick together, families have to communicate. Isn't that right?
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, well, I'm part of that family. Oh, Vinnie, with me, she's uncomfortable. Believe me, I am sensitive enough to notice that I will get up and go in the bedroom, all right?
Okay, fine.
So what are you going to tell her?
Who?
Oh, Katherine, who else? What kind of advice are you going to give her, Vinnie?
Well, how do I know until I come, she comes over here and I hear what she says?
Does Larry know she's coming over here?
Of course not.
Oh, boy, he's not going to like it.
Wanda, I got news for you. My brother-in-law, my brother, recently didn't know which end was up. And I'll tell you, I am more concerned about him than I am about Karen. At least she knows what she wants.
What does she want, Vinnie?
She wants to save her marriage to Larry.
You don't think Larry does?
I don't know what to think anymore.
You want my opinion? I don't think he does.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Why do you say something like that?
Well, because it's nothing nobody told me, you know what I mean? But it's, the last couple times I saw him, I got these vibrations, especially when he was at Tony's place with Kathy. A lot of people may not like it, but I think something is developing between Kathy and Larry.
Larry and Kathy? What is it, some kind of joke?
Vinnie, dear, I think it's time you got a little more realistic about this whole Karen and Larry situation.
Now, wait a minute. No way is my brother going to get himself tangled up with Kathy, period.
Why did you say that?
Because she's not sane, that's why.
Oh, Vinnie, come on. She's as sane as anybody I know.
Sane? You call somebody that kidnapped a baby sane?
Dear, she's been under psychiatric care.
There you go. That proves my point. Anybody that goes to see a psychiatrist ought to have their head examined. Karen, come on in. Come on in.
No, you're on a
Oh, no, come on. Here, take your coat off. Take your coat off. Here, let me take your bag. Put it down. Come on.
Thanks.
Here you go. Come here, sit down. Come on, sit down. What the hell, will you? Just stand there.
Stupid.
Look, as soon as you feel good, together and everything, we'll talk about it, right?
Want some coffee?
No, I'll be all right. A second. Hey, listen, you sounded pretty shaky on the phone. I mean, is there anything that we should know about?
Oh, that I don't know about.
Wanda.
What?
Come on, let me sit down.
What?
Let me sit down. What do you mean?
Well, remember when you came to the clinic the other day and we talked about Kathy?
Yeah? Kathy do something since then?
No. She's just been her sweet self. But, you see, I know that what she wants is Larry. And for the first time, Vinnie, I'm afraid she's going to get him.
Okay, look. Don't you even think about anything like that, because something like that is never going to happen.
Oh, Vinnie, come on. It's happening already. I'm at the free clinic every day. I see her. I watch her. I watch her flatter him. I watch her butter him up. And Larry's so sweet and naive. He doesn't know what's going on.
You see that? Now you believe me, huh? I told you she was out to break up his marriage.
Now, wait a minute. There's a very strong accusation. I think if you took it into a court of law, they would require a little evidence.
Evidence? Look, wait a minute. She's not stupid. What do you think she's going to do? Take out an ad in the paper saying, I want to take Larry Wolek away from his wife, son Kathy Craig? Come on, Wanda.
Be quiet. Pipe down. Listen, Karen, honey, what is it that makes you feel this way? I mean, is there something specific that Kathy did? No, Wanda, it isn't anything specific. It's a feeling. I'm Larry's wife. I know. I mean, she spends more and more time with him. I called Larry today, and I said, what are you doing for dinner? And he said, well, I have plans. And then I found out later that he had plans with Kathy. He and Kathy were going to dinner somewhere.
I don't believe it. I don't believe that my brother has lost all his marbles.
And I love Larry more than anything else in the world. And I've got to get him back. And you got to help me. You just got to. Burglary? Miss Lovelace, what on earth are you talking about? All I know is what Mr. Abbott told me. What's Richard got to do with it? He's the one that found the open window in your room, Becky. Window? He said whoever was in that room must have escaped through the window. Oh, Becky, I'm so sorry. And I can't imagine he'd want to break into your room. Miss Hopkins, I better go up there and look around. Well, I'll go with you. I don't want to stay here all alone. Mrs. Hopkins, wait, I'm coming with you.
Next on General Hospital.
I don't know what to do, Monica. Everything's gone wrong. Everyone's turning against me. Even Scotty. I'm so miserable at the start.
Rejected and abandoned. Laura longs for her real family.
Mom?
General Hospital next. Right after One Life to Live.
Thanks. Would you like to try? Vinnie, do you think I'm being unreasonable?
Unreasonable?
Yeah, all I want is a chance to be a good wife and a loving mother to Danny. And I'm not saying that I'm going to succeed, but I at least want a chance, and that's all I'm asking.
All right, that does it. I'm going to talk to my brother, and that's all there is to it. That's all.
Think about it before you do.
No, wait a second, Wanda. No. Don't try to talk me out of it. I know just what I got to do. I am going to find Larry wherever he is tonight. I am going to bring him back here, and I am going to just...
No, you're not. You'll do it tomorrow, okay?
No. I am doing it tonight. Now. A lot can happen between now and tomorrow.
Well, Vinnie, I think if you are going to talk to him, I think we should discuss the best way to go about it.
What is to discuss? Look, I'll just get right to the point.
No, I know Larry, and I know that he'd be furious if he knew that I came to talk to you.
Well, why should he be furious? I'm your brother-in-law.
I know, Vinnie, but couldn't you just tell him that you met me somewhere, you ran into me, and we talked, and you saw that I was very unhappy.
Why do I have to do something like that? Look, if I can't level with my own brother, right? Who can I level with?
Vinnie, you're absolutely right. But I know that Larry's going through as much pain about all of this as I am. And I know he's pretty upset, and I know he's not thinking clearly, so just as a favor to me, would you tell him that I didn't come here tonight, okay?
Okay. All right, I give you my word.
imagine that this has ever happened before. But she's telling the truth, Becky. In all the years I've lived here, we've never had any trouble.
Oh, you don't have to apologize, Miss Hopkins. Sometimes things like this happen right out of the blue.
I don't understand how the person got into this room. I told you. Richard said the door was unlocked.
I could swear I locked it when I went out. I always check it before I leave.
Darling, you think maybe you forgot this one time? No.
I'm really scared.
Oh, of course you are, darling. But listen, at least whoever came in here didn't get anything. I mean, you don't have anything valuable, so I can't imagine what he was looking for.
Neither can I. Miss Lovelace, will you tell us what happened after we left the house?
Well, like I said, I was sitting down in the living room all by myself, and after you left, I only saw two people. That was Mr. Abbott and that Marco person, I can never remember his name. Dane, Miss Lovelace. That's it. Well, he came in just a few minutes after you left. And we sat down in the living room and we chatted for a while, and then he left again. He said he was going to the Blue Ridge Club. But you're sure he didn't come back upstairs? Yes, I heard him leave the house. He's the one that always slams that front door so loud. Noise doesn't seem to matter to him. And just a few minutes after Mr. Dane left. And he said he'd written you a note, Becky, and he seemed so disappointed when you weren't here that I told him I thought it would be all right if he just slipped that note under your door. So I stayed down here in the living room while he went upstairs to do that. But about after 10 minutes, I thought to myself, I better go up there and see what's taking him so long. So I went upstairs, and I was shocked to find him here in your room. Miss Lovelace, if there is one person in the entire world you don't have to worry about, it's Richard Abbott. If he was in this room, he had very good reason to be. Well, I'm just wondering why he doesn't come back. He raced out of here saying he was going to find out whoever it was that was in Becky's room. Where is he?
Miss Lovelace, are you absolutely sure that Marco left?
Marco was there?
Mr. Abbott, there you are. Whatever happened to you?
Well, never mind that. You said Marco was here? When was Marco here?
Miss Lovelace said that he was here after Becky and I went to the church, but then he went on to the Blue Ridge Club.
Well, what time was that?
It was about 9 o'clock, and then he said good night to me, and he went out and slammed the front door just the way he always
Well, that
does.
doesn't necessarily mean that he left the house, does it?
Richard, what are you saying? Mr. Abbott, you mean you think he might be trying to put something over on me?
Yeah, I think that's possible. Question is, did he?
What did you find outside, Richard?
Well, there were tracks in the snow outside Becky's window leading to the street, so whoever was in here jumped out that window.
Oh, Charlie, that's a long jump. Whoever did that could have been hurt.
Yeah, it's very possible. Anyway, I called the police. They're going to be here in a little while, so you all stay here until they come, okay? I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
Well, never mind, Becky. You just stay here. I'm going to go see if I can find Marco and answer the questions. I know he was here tonight.
I'm going with you.
No, stay here, okay?
Well, whose room was broken into? Yours or mine?
Becky, I don't want to argue with you.
Well, you're not going to argue with me. I'm telling you flat out I'm going with you.
Oh, you're the stubbornest person I've ever met.
Oh, and you're not. Oh, there's nothing stubborn about old Richard Abbott.
All right, are you going to stay here and let me handle this or not?
No, I'm not.
If Marco Dane came in my room, I should be asking him questions, not you.
All right, Becky, you do what you want, okay? Whatever you want to do, I don't care.
Well, I don't care if you care. And I don't know why you get involved in this in the first place.
No, nothing you do. Surprise me.
Ow!
Oh, what's the matter?
I ran into the whole table.
Oh, I wonder where you're going.
My goodness. I'm saying a little limit. Believe it or not, Miss Lovelace, don't you people are hopelessly in love with each other. No one would ever know it from the way they carry on. I know that. But someday, sooner or later, they're going to realize it. Until then, we'll just have to put up with them as best we can.
Wait for me, Mrs. Hopkins.
When you were looking into my palm earlier in the evening, you said you saw everything. Should have seen that, too.
Well, I guess that fact was obscured by all your other lovely qualities.
You know, Brad, I'm rather glad we ran into each other outside the supermarket.
Yeah? Me too.
I'm seeing a side of you I never saw before. You know, it may surprise you, but the one who really does keep the clinic going is Kathy Craig.
Is that right?
Well, I know that the doctors really keep it going, but Kathy Craig is very organized. She's a very good administrator.
Well, I'm not at all surprised. You know, she's made great strides in her personal life in the last few months. As a matter of fact, I've been thinking about terminating her treatment.
Really? Oh, I know she'd love that.
Who's that? What would Kathy love?
Will was just saying that she's doing so well in her treatment that he's thinking of terminating it.
I think that's a great idea. 100% correct, and I second the motion strongly.
It wasn't so long ago you felt a lot differently about Kathy.
Well, I can see that she's changed a lot recently, and you've got to give credit where credit is due, right?
Well, I'm glad to hear you feel that way, Brad. Oh, Jenny, I've been meaning to ask you, how is your sister doing?
Seems okay. I really haven't seen her very much lately. I know that she and Larry are still separated.
Yes, I know. I see Larry almost every day. He hasn't sounded very optimistic.
Really? Sorry to hear that. She does seem to be trying, really trying to be better. She's not living with Dorian anymore, and she's working at the free clinic. Why did you ask about her?
Oh, just curiosity. I like Larry a lot. You're Karen's sister, so I figured you know her better than anybody else.
Oh, I bet you figured wrong.
Oh?
Karen, I've never been... Well, we never did talk like sisters should. I don't know why. It's been that way our whole lives. Maybe it's some problem of mine that I had in my childhood or something.
I don't believe that for one moment. From what I know about you, I said that your childhood was very healthy and normal.
Oh, come on, Will. I'm beginning to think that there is no such thing as a normal, healthy childhood.
No, not you. Now, you've really got it all together, Jenny.
Once again, the good doctor has hit the nail right on the head. They not only has her act together, she's also got mine together as well. You're witnessing a rare moment here, Pamela. I mean, Brad Vernon has now agreed with his father twice in the space of just a few minutes. When was the last time that happened?
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah, well, it's Jenny's doing. She's improving me.
Oh, come on. I think we better change the subject. Why don't we talk about something interesting, like the state of the world?
You're a lot more interesting in the state of the world. It's just too modest, that's all.
Oh, well, I won't be if you're going to be around.
I love you. What's wrong with that?
Are they gone? Yes. The whole idea of the police having to come into this house and ask a lot of questions. I must say, I thought they were very polite and quite efficient. They only spent about 5 minutes to go through all of Becky's room. Did they find anything? You mean like clues? Well, they didn't say anything to me. Well, I've lived a long time, Mrs. Hopkins, and I've never once been questioned by the police until tonight. Personally, I found it a rather interesting experience. Well, I didn't. I thought some of their questions were positively inexcusable. Why? One of them even asked me if I'd ever been fingerprinted. Miss Lovelace, I do believe he was teasing you. And let's face it, honey, you weren't all that cooperative. It's a little difficult to be cooperative when you don't know anything. I can't imagine why anyone would want to break into Becky's room. Neither can I. But I have this feeling that whoever did it is somehow linked with the mystery of Becky's past. Mystery? What are you talking about? Well, I don't really know myself, Miss Lovelace. But I do know that Becky has a secret back there someplace. And unfortunately, she hasn't seen fit to trust me enough to tell me what it is.
tonight, Marco? What do you mean? Yeah, you're usually the life of the party. And tonight you're very quiet. In fact, you almost look sad. Oh, I am sad. How come? My polo pony died. Funny. Really funny. Hey, give me change for this way I'm going to get some cigarettes. Wait. And keep an eye on this drink, will you? Why, where are you going for the cigarettes? Philadelphia? My kingdom for a straight man. What's wrong with your leg?
I twisted my ankle in the parking lot. Yeah, you ought to tell your boss to do something about that ice out there.
Hey, Jenny, is this about ready?
Oh, just a minute, Brad.
Hey, Pamela, can we drop you off on our way home?
Oh, thank you, Brad, but I wouldn't want you to go out of your way.
Well, it's not out of the way at all. We'd be delighted.
You didn't let me finish.
Sorry.
I actually have a few things to discuss with your father, so I'll be staying for a while.
Oh, okay. Well, his gain, our loss. But it was nice to see you. I hope we can see you again soon.
I'm sure you will.
Okay.
Really should be very proud of yourself, Will.
Well, I'm not going to get rich on the book, but I'm very pleased about the reader response.
Yeah, good. Brad, I'm ready.
Okay.
Thanks. Bill?
Good night. Thanks for
Jen,
coming.
good night. Good night, Dr. Shepard. No, I don't know you wanted to come over. Yes.
So was I. Hospital work so too much, I'll never get a chance to see him myself.
Oh, somehow I think you will survive.
Yes, I do too.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Dad.
Good night. Good night.
Grandma, see you later.
Thank you. Well, Doctor, I can think of only one word that properly describes the feeling.
What's that?
Fascinating.
Fascinating. In what way?
Why, the star attraction, of course. Your handsome young son.
I don't understand.
Oh, I'm not surprised. You did spend most of your time talking to Jenny after dinner.
Well, I am very concerned about her sister Karen.
You don't have to explain. I know all about Larry Wolek's separation from his wife, so I do understand.
Pam, did Brad do or say anything to upset you?
May I speak freely?
But you always do.
I mean, as one doctor to another.
Oh, my God. He did do something.
Well, I'm really not the least bit upset, so please don't concern yourself about that, all right?
What is it? What happened?
Your son is really quite an incredible young man. To begin with, he started flirting with me the moment we ran into each other outside the supermarket. I take it that doesn't surprise you?
No. He's been doing that ever since he learned how to smile.
Yes, I'm sure. Well, I let him know that he wasn't going to get any encouragement from me, but I'm afraid that didn't stop him. He went right on flirting throughout the evening, not only after you got here, but after his wife arrived as well. In fact, while you were busy talking to Jenny, you missed an outrageously one-sided conversation.
He told you all about himself.
That's putting it mildly. Within the space of 10 minutes or so, I found out he was a tennis pro, the owner of a health club, an entrepreneur, a great lover, and a brilliant wit. I don't mean to be cruel, Will, but I very nearly told him I thought it was unfair that there were so many of him and so few of us.
I'm sorry you had to be subjected to all that. But really, Brad doesn't mean anything by it.
Well, if you believe that, you believe anything.
Oh. Okay, Doctor. So you've been analyzing my son all evening, huh?
Not by choice, I assure you. If you want me to, I'll quit while you're ahead.
No, go ahead.
Very well. Well, when I ran into him outside the supermarket, we simply stopped and chatted for a moment. He showed no indication whatsoever of being anything more than polite and friendly, until I mentioned that I was coming here to cook dinner for you. Before I knew it, he was inviting himself along.
Well, he never has been one to be very reticent.
When we arrived here, he decided to read my fortune. So I gave him my hand, and he proceeded to tell me that I would marry, be very rich, bear 2 children, and be very happy.
That sounds harmless enough.
Yes. Except for one thing.
What?
He threatened that I would marry a man younger than myself. What does that tell you?
Well, I'm several years older than you, so I would say that Brad was ruling me out, right?
Exactly. Then later in the evening, he obviously thought that you were spending too much time with Jenny. So he quickly stole himself away from me and began showering his wife with attention.
In other words, any woman that Daddy likes must be taken away from him, right?
Thank you. I wanted you to be the one to say it, not me. There's a lot of anger and hostility in that young man, Phil. And I'll tell you quite frankly, I don't envy the very nice young woman he's married to.
You ought to have that looked at, Marco. Huh? What's that? Your foot. You're looking pretty bad.
Oh. Yeah, I can walk on it, though, but it's not broken, right?
But look, you're not losing anything if you go to see a doctor, have it checked out.
Oh, yeah, I would be. I'd be losing $25 a lot.
Well, you can't afford $25?
Not anymore. I'm out of a job. By the way, if you hear of anything, let me know, huh?
You mean you're not working for the rich lady anymore?
You got it.
I thought you two were like that.
Yeah, we were.
Well, what happened?
Didn't work out.
How you doing, Marco?
Hey, still night, huh? No action at all here.
You been here long?
Oh, let's go. I don't even know how long I've been here. How long have I been here?
How should I know?
He doesn't know either. Why don't you guys sit down and buy a drink?
I don't want to.
Thanks a lot, Marco. Yeah. Have a draft here? Oh, not much action tonight, eh?
No, nothing happening. What brings you to here?
Oh, nothing in particular. We just stopped by to see if anything was happening.
Oh, well, I think the thing here isn't.
Yeah, I guess we've been through that already, huh?
Yeah. So, what do you guys want to talk about?
I want to talk about what happened over the house.
Hey, Marco, how about having a game of electronic tennis, huh?
No thanks. What do you mean about tonight at the house?
Well, come on, Marco. Just one game. How big the $5 I can win?
I'm not in the mood, Richard.
You're not in the mood? Hey, you're always in the mood. Every time I see you at that game. Look, I'm challenging.
Some other
okay?
time, huh?
What's the matter? You afraid it'll be shit?
Hey, why don't you guys get off my back? What is this now?
Look, $10, okay? $10, Marcus.
Is there a full moon out there, anyplace?
Hey, what do you think?
Well, what are you going to do when you're in demand, huh? All right. Clean your clock.
Hey, wait a minute, huh? What happened to your foot?
I twisted my ankle.
Oh, how'd you do that?
I slipped on the ice outside the parking lot.
All right, Skip. I don't believe that.
No. Didn't I slip on the ice in the parking lot?
Yeah, sure you did. Oh, you did see him slip on the ice in the parking lot?
Oh, no.
But he told me. That's a lie, Marco. Isn't that a lie, Marco?
What are you talking about, Richard?
Well, you hurt your foot when you jumped out of Becky's window.
You're crazy.
No, he's not. Miss Lovelace told us you came back to the house at 9 o'clock.
So I went back to the house at 9 o'clock. Big deal. I lived there, remember?
What were you doing in Becky's bedroom?
What I wasn't anywhere near Becky's bedroom. Why don't you guys just get lost?
Now, Marco, look, I don't want you to go anywhere until you tell me why you were in Becky's bedroom.
Wanda!
I wonder what Larry is. I wonder why he hasn't, returned my phone call.
Which one? You And I think sometimes she dreams just a little too grand for her own good. I also think she likes to manipulate people. And I think, frankly, that Reilly would be better off without her. I like the one in my opinion. You got it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give it right back to you. Karen is a Wolek. And in this town, we don't criticize Wolek.
I know.
Okay, case closed.
Boy, talk about an open shut case.
You don't think this is serious, do you?
Oh, Vinnie, of course I know it's serious.
Well, then how come you sit around here making wisecracks about it? Oh, I understand. Your attitude has changed. Now that you have decided to model them...
Oh, I don't believe how we got the Karen Larry problems to proceed. I'm going to bed, Vinnie.
Wait a minute.
Good night.
Take your hands up. Take it to my school clothes. Answer my question, Mark. Why are you and Becky girl? Come on. Like, answer my question. Just answer my question.
I feel tired.
last few weeks, I feel like I'm beginning to learn something. Like I've made some healthy choices. Oh, I do. I have a long way to go, but I think the progress I have made is a good part of it.
How about that? I wasn't even aware of helping.
Well, that's maybe because you weren't working on it. You've never treated, well, quote, treated me, unquote. You know, you've never been patronized toward me. You've never made me feel like you pitied me.
Pity? Why should I pity someone as bright and attractive as you are?
You really mean that?
Yes, I do. Matter of fact, it's been a long time since I've seen you looking this good, Cat.
All right, miss, inside the cell, please.
Before you do that, can I make just one more phone call?
Well, you already had one. That's the limit. I haven't had my one telephone call yet. Yes, you did. I was there when you made it. Yeah, but I got my lawyer's answering machine. You left a message, right? Oh, sure. You'll probably be here in the morning. So what's the problem? The problem is I'm going to have to spend the rest of the night here. That's the problem. It's after 1 o'clock already. That's not too long. Besides, I got to tell you, you've got the best rooms in the house. All right, miss, come on, get in there. Get in there.
You know something? If I was a blusher, I'd be blushing.
Sounds like that, if I were a bell, I'd be ringing.
Yes, Sarah Brown.
What?
Sarah Brown, that was the name of the character, the girl who sang the song on the show.
Guys and dolls.
Hey, don't you know that?
And everybody knows guys and dolls.
Well, not everybody our age.
Well, excuse me, but I might be a couple of years older than you.
Well, not that much older, because you were just a little boy in that later.
Right, I was just a couple. Nah, I've seen that play since. I've seen the movie. I still think it's one of the best musicals ever written.
Well, I've got to tell you a secret.
What?
I played Sarah Brown when we did a production of it in high school.
Right now, lad, that's not fair. When do you remember the name of the character? Sarah Brown.
You find that amazing?
I find it a little hard to believe you as a Salvation Army girl.
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. I felt I was miscast. Even then, I found myself identifying with Adelaide. You know, she was tough on the outside, horrible on the inside. I remember having an argument with my drama teacher because I was convinced that it wasn't Nathan Detroit who was putting off the marriage. It was Adelaide herself because she was afraid of involvement. And so she made her take all kinds of oaths about not gambling, not making impossible promises.
It's an interesting theory. You're not afraid of involvement.
Well, I wasn't then, but now Larry, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a party pooper, but if I'm going to get a call from the Lord Press at 8 a.m. in the morning saying I have to do rewrites on my brilliant article...
Check. So before we leave, finish what you were saying.
About what?
About involvement.
Oh, well, I was finished. That was it.
Thank you.
I think you've done wonderfully well since you've been back here. I mean, look, you're living here, not in Dorian's custody at the big house on the hill.
Don't you see, Peter, that she's doing everything that she can to drag me back there, including making it very difficult for some very innocent people. The whole thing goes back so far and so deep that it's really hard to explain to anyone.
I'm willing to listen.
I don't even know where to begin. Well, yes, I do. But please stop me if Dorian's told you any of this.
Listen, I know very little about Dorian's background. Yours too.
She never told you about her parents, how he grew up.
Nope.
Well, Father and Mother taught at Northern University. In fact, Father later became president of the university. Perhaps you heard of him, Dr. Wilson Cramer.
The botanist.
That's right. Of course, someone in the science doesn't remember him for that. Well, actually,
a very gentle man, not at all suited to be an administrator. He's best remembered for a remark that he once made at Northern. You see, the university had become a big football power, and he was asked to speak at the pep rally before a really important game. Of course, he couldn't understand what all the excitement was about. To him, football was just a game. So, he got up on the platform with a twinkle in his eye, and he said, I think I speak for us all when I say that we will do everything in our power to create the kind of university that the football team can be proud of.
That's great. That's wonderful.
Of course, it didn't get many laughs that night, but he was remembered for years afterwards at academic circles. Where was I? Oh, yes, Mother taught the classics. And between them, they felt like they had two children for prodigies.
Dorian in science and you in music.
No, well, actually it was Dorian who decided I was musical. You see, I was beginning to show some promise in physics and chemistry, and, well, I don't think she liked the competition. Did you know that she even picked my name?
Oh, why?
It's kind of homage. She was known as the little princess around the house. She really ruled us all.
That's very interesting.
Why?
Well, on occasion I've heard Dorian refer to Vicky Reilly, sarcastically, of course, as the little princess.
Well, I'm not surprised. Anyone who challenges her rule. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sound so vindictive. But my name, for example, Melinda.
What about it?
I've always hated it. It sounds so prim and Victorian, like I should be going around with no makeup and my hair in a bun at the back of my head.
Okay, Lynn. There's one thing I'm curious about, though. Both you and Dorian have mentioned an accident that resulted in your left arm being paralyzed.
Yes. I was horseback riding, trying to keep up with Dorian. Something she was so terribly good at. In fact, she was good at everything. It was impossible to compete with her.
Well, why'd you try?
I felt I had to. Even then, maybe I was trying to free myself of her. Anyway, I was trying to demonstrate what a tremendous rider I was when the accident happened.
I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it at all.
No, I should be able to talk about it by now. Have to make myself talk about it.
Listen, Lynn, you don't have to confront everything at once.
Peter! $5. I'm so glad you're here. Something terrible has happened and I need your help.
What, Mrs. Hopkins?
Well, a few minutes ago, Becky called, and I have been digging through this house ever since. $5. Yes. Now, listen, I have $87.12. Well, that is not nearly enough. That won't do any good because we need $1,000.
Mrs. Hopkins, could you tell me what we need $1,000 for?
Yes, to get Rebecca and Richard out. Out of where? Well, you see, there was this fight at the Blue Ridge Club. I don't know, had Richard in jail. Oh, no. Yeah.
And we need $1,000 for bail money, right?
Yes, of course.
And, of course, at this hour, there aren't very many bail bondsmen at the jail, right?
Huh?
Well, let's see. $30?
Well, Peter, how about Tony? If he hasn't cashed in the night deposit, maybe there's money at the club.
That's a very good idea. Your phone?
Right over there. Now, hurry.
just like in the movies.
What do they do with all of them? All those fingerprints and pictures?
I don't know. File them, I guess. Maybe they send them to Washington.
Washington?
Yeah, the FBI has a big, huge file in Washington of everybody's fingerprints. At least I think so. I'll have to check on that when I get out of here.
You mean they go to all that trouble just for somebody who got caught in a barroom fight?
Yeah. Hey, it wouldn't be so bad. We'd be in good company. We'd be in the same file with Babyface Nelson and John Dillinger and Bonnie and Clyde, Machine Gun Kelly and Al Capone. Hey, come on, huh? All right, Becky. Hey. All right. We won't be here long. Hey, look, at least we got each other to talk to, huh? Hey, you notice anything about these girls?
What do you mean?
They don't have any facilities. There's no toilet or wash basin.
So?
Well, that means these are holding him. In other words, they expect somebody to come down here and bail us out. Now, Mr. Briggs probably on his way down here right now or away from the paper, you know? Or maybe Mrs. Hopkins went into her old mattress and took out the $1,000 she stuffed in there. She's going to bail us out, huh?
She don't got no $1,000 in the house.
Doesn't, not don't, doesn't.
All right.
You know, I still don't understand how Mark will get out of there without getting busted.
He must have got out before the police got there.
Becky, what was Marco doing in your room? I mean, what did he expect to find out? What was he looking for?
We don't know for sure it was him. I should have told you that before you started punching him out.
Oh, hey, come on. Marco was the only other person in the house that night. And we know that whoever was in that room jumped out of the window. And when we saw Marco at the Blue Ridge Club, he had a lisp. Becky, I know that you got depression. But don't let that blind you to the truth. It was Marco, all right. He was there. The only question is why.
Yeah, so then I knock over the vase. Now Richard's out there, he cleverly deduces that somebody's in the room. So he starts hollering through the door, you know. I figure right now this is a good time to make an exit, so I dive out the window and I twist my ankle. He catches up with me later at the Blue Ridge Club. He notices that I have a rather decided limp. So he puts two and two together. He attacks me. Imagine the gall of that kid. He attacks someone as awesome as me. Hey, I was lucky to get out of there before the cops
Never
came.
mind about that. What did you find out in Becky's room?
Nothing. I ain't fried.
Oh, but there's got to be something. We know that she's concealing her past, that she's falsified it. Now, people just don't do that for no reason.
This is true, yes.
Oh, but subconsciously, of course. Why was she so attracted to Richard? Her air of mystery.
Oh, come off it. She's just an innocent, naive country girl. You know, you take this whole thing of her investigation so seriously. It's nothing to me but a few laughs and a few extra bucks. You really have no idea what horrible thing you think we're going to uncover of her past. But I'll tell you something. Cops are going to do my job for me.
What do you mean?
Well, I was across the street watching when they picked up Richard and Becky and the whole crew at the Blue Ridge. I figure if they arrest her, they'll fingerprint her, and if she has a record, her fingerprints will be on file. And
Well, all right. There's only one way to find out.
hey, now, if you call the cops, don't tell them who you are, because that way Richard and Becky will figure I went straight to you.
Look, would you just give me a... I'll have 2 cents, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Sergeant. This is Miss Hennessy from the city room at the back. Yes, we just got a report that there was a big brawl at the Blue Ridge Club tonight and that 2 of our employees were arrested there. Would you tell me if... Yes, what were their names? charges at least. Yes. Thank you very much, Sergeant. They're being held on $1,000 bail.
Ooh, the magistrate really took a poke at him. It's tough to come up with that kind of money in the middle of the night.
Yes, but now at least I know what we have to do.
Next, on General Hospital, Gail meets the other woman.
I don't believe you. Greg really told me we had no secret.
And Monica's another woman.
I've been expecting you to exactly like Greg told you.
Alan knows all of Monica's tricks and won't give in.
For the first time in my life, I want to be completely honest. And you doubt me.
General Hospital, next. Watch today right after One Life to Live.
Yeah, hey, listen, thank you very much. I'll be by for it right away. Right, thank you. Bye.
That's funny.
Wrong. He just sent Charlie to the night depository for the bank, so he only has petty cash, but he's got a couple $100. So what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is swing by there and pick up that money, and then I'm going to go to the hospital, and the night administrator may have some money, and if he doesn't have enough, I'll go up to the cafeteria and pass around the hat, see what I can come up with. And I'll let you know what happens.
Oh, yes, please do.
Yeah.
He's a very nice man to do all that.
He certainly is.
How did Becky sound when you talked to her?
She sounded very frightened, poor dog.
I can imagine. First time you're locked in that way, that suffocating feeling.
Lynn, you've never been in jail, have you?
No, but... Mrs. Hopkins, Becky has been so nice to me that I think I should do something for her.
Like what?
Like I could call Dorian. If she has as much power in this town as she claims to.
Wait a minute. Just wait 1 minute. Much as I want to help Becky, Lynn, you better think. Are you sure you want to ask Dorian for favors at this point?
I don't want to, but if it'll help Becky.
You knew her number.
I memorized it just in case. Wasn't sure if I could make it on my own.
At this time of night?
It's strange, isn't it? So, try again later.
Richard Abbott is in jail?
Yes. And Miss Rebecca Lee Hunt, too. They're both arrested in what we call the newspaper lingo, a barroom brawl. And Richard Abbott, a Princeton man, too. I'll even Tiger get into scrapes now and again. I know, but to be arrested under circumstances like that. But of course, I suppose they're both out on bail by now. Oh, no, they're not. No? How do you know that? Because I called the police. See, they came up before a very strict magistrate. He set the bail at $1,000. Each? No, for the both of them. Well, all I can say is I hope this opens a few people's eyes as far as Richard Abbott is concerned. Do you mean mine, Dorian? No, I don't. I'm sure your affection for him makes allowance for this kind of thing. I'm referring to Joe Reilly and, of course, Richard's cousin, the little princess. Who? Becky. I mean, I could never understand why everyone was always so crazy about Richard to begin with. I know family ties are fine, but... Dorian, I think Richard should be taught a lesson. Well, I think he already has been. Of course, whether he's going to take it to heart... No. I mean, the circumstances under which he got into this brawl and his ridiculous sense of chivalry towards Becky in it. Well, I have this idea, but I need your help. By all means. Tell me, it sounds absolutely delicious. Now, what would you like me to do?
What's got you so scared, Becky? It wasn't just the idea of spending a night in jail, was it? No, it was those questions about fingerprints and mug shots.